Drake told me I'm a 10. Boom. I ain't never met Drake. I told him you don't need to worry about them. Tennis talking. Listen, hopefully I won't get struck because it was on like 10 seconds or something. But that's my hype music. Sometimes it's Drake. Who else gets me? You know who gets me in a good like hype music, like state of mind? Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy will get you there. Trick Daddy will get you there, honey. Let's see. Trick Daddy. Let's go. That right there. Listen, help you get your whole life. I can't play with a little second of it because we ain't trying to get, the channel struck over here. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Anybody out there know about Slip and Slide Records? Trina? Listen. I. Listen. Hold on. Hold on. He a real gangster, y'all. Come get some. Because where I'm from, we so big. Know something about it. Listen, we got to turn that off. We ain't trying to get, what I'm saying, struck. But yeah, that'll get you in the mood. You be walking out your house like, try me not, okay? Listen, do I have try me on my forehead? That's what Trick Daddy get you, okay? Be very clear. Anywho, so like I said, tonight, welcome to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel. I'm the host. My channel, we mostly talk about celebrity news. What else do I like to cover? I love reality TV. Not all of it. Some of it's very, very ratchet. And so I'm not with that. But in general, I like reality TV. So right now I'm covering Married to Medicine is what we're going to cover tonight. I like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I like, who else do I like? Real Housewives. Well, really, I like almost all the Real Housewives except Bravo. Come to the front. What are y'all doing with Orange County? Y'all be over here talking about, well, we don't know if we're going to bring back Atlanta, but you bringing back Orange County? Shout out to Tamara Judge. I don't really like her, but shout out to her anyway. But listen, I don't like Tamara as a human being, but that girl knows how to convince people that she is their friend and then, listen, switch up on their ass at the reunion. I don't know. Can I say that yet? I don't know. Excuse me if I said it too early. Sorry. So anyways, I don't know. Orange County can get renewed, then Atlanta deserves to get renewed every single season for the next 20 years. Although I don't think we'll be here for the next 20 years with Atlanta. And y'all, listen, go watch my video about Portia Gubadia. Listen, sidebar, just one little quick thing. I just think, y'all can tell me what y'all think, but go watch my video. But I find it awfully strange that for like 4 or 5 months now, at least, they kept saying, well, we don't know. We're doing a reboot in Atlanta. And I forget who kind of broke the news. I feel like they broke the news like 6 months ago or something like that. And they were saying, I don't know if it was Love B. Scott or somebody like that. I think they're a major blogger, I think. But they basically said that they're going to basically throw away everybody. They're going to do a whole reboot. That's what was being said. And then, Candy and Kenya, I feel like they were getting a little restless because it was just kind of like, y'all don't have a contract yet? And then Candy was just kind of like, they took too long. So she went to the Grammys. Shout out to Candy Burris. She's a boss, and I ain't mad at her. Candy was like, listen, I quit. But I don't believe, this is what's, I'm not a what do you call those people? Conspiracy theorist, but I find it very strange and interesting that they kept holding out, because Candy said it. She's like, they taking too long to make up their mind, this, that, and the third. She didn't have a contract yet, or there wasn't, I guess, contracts it wasn't coming down a pipeline, according to her and Kenya at the time. So, like I said, at the Grammys, Candy's like, oh, I quit. Just let y'all know. The internet went crazy. And then literally a week later, Portia announces that Portia Williams, she's like, y'all said that Portia Williams is, coming back to Atlanta. Portia Williams will not be coming back to Atlanta. Portia Gubadia I was like, I can't. And then literally a few days later, news broke on her husband allegedly being he's go watch my video. He has a lot of fraudulent charges, arrests for I think identity theft and bank fraud. Listen, it's a whole lot, but we don't have time for that. We're gonna talk about the Real Housewives, not the Real Housewives. Sorry, we're gonna talk about Married to Medicine tonight, and I want to start here because I don't feel like I feel like I accidentally left this out of my recap last week about Jackie. Dr. Jackie, come to the front, sis. Cause see, I clocked Dr. Jackie season one, scene one. I was like, she's savage. It's something about the fakery of it all. I think I respect her as a physician on some level, right? Because listen, everybody can't make it to the top. It's hard to get to the top. That's why everybody don't make it. Okay? So I respect that much. I'm sure it's not an easy thing to graduate medical school and then become a, intern or resident or whatever it is, and then become a attending or whatever the ranks are, at a hospital, and then open your own private practice, right? So shout out to her for that, because it's more than a notion to become that, and I get it. But on the last episode, Dr. Jackie, there was this whole big thing. Go back and watch the video, but essentially they were all having this conversation about how, Dr. Jackie didn't really want to go to Hilton Head or whatever it was, and how they didn't want to, because Curtis had his affair on Dr. Jackie and Hilton Head. So Sweet Tea was basically like, I'm going to call Jackie out because, I think she deserves to be in the hot seat, because when y'all came to my house, y'all brought up Quad, and how you didn't like this, and Quad did that better. And I think Sweet Tea had an excellent point. But this is where it irritates me, and I feel like Dr. Jackie's being a bully. And she doing the whole switch and bait, because Dr. Jackie, and I would say most of the people in the Married to Medicine cast, maybe with the exception of Toya, no shade, but I feel that they're more intellectual, cerebral people. They just are. You don't get to put MD behind your name, in front of your name, without being able to get into med school, at least at the very minimum, which Toya and Sweet Tea are not. However, everybody doesn't need to be a doctor, right? We need therapists. We need, the doctors and the nurses and all those people, they get a lot of clout and they get a lot of praise for everything that they do. But listen, let's be real. Social workers are the backbone of society. She's a social worker and a therapist. I'm just saying, we're in education, military, criminal justice system, mental health system, any system you can name, there's some social workers there. So, but people don't value us in the way that they should. So we're going to teach them why they should. No, we're not going to have that session today. But anyway, so I think intellectually, Sweet Tea is, I'm not going to say the lady is less smart than they are, because I don't know her that well. And, we only see a snippet. But what I will say is, she necessarily, in that scenario where everybody felt like Dr. Jackie read Sweet Tea, I didn't feel that way. And this is why. Dr. Jackie did the bait and switch thing. And she answered her question by not answering her question. And she just gave Sweet Tea and everybody watching, including us, her resume. And I would have read her for filth if it was me, because I am an intellectual. Listen. So when Sweet Tea said to her, you talked about me and my situation, and I didn't like that. That wasn't right. So I think you deserve to be in a hot seat. And so Dr. Jackie then, like I said, read her resume. She's like, I'm in the hot seat every day that I walk into my office. I'm in the hot seat every day that, I deliver a baby and I can't have a baby. It's annoying. It's annoying to me. So I didn't like that, but I just don't feel like it was a fair fight. I feel like if I was Sweet Tea, I probably would have said, you know what, Dr. Jackie, listen, because I've been in these type of intellectual fights where people think that you're less than them because your skin is brown or because you're female or whatever it is, right? I've been in those type of fights with the corporate Americans. And you're not gonna win this fight with me. And Dr. Jackie, with all her MDs and all that, she wouldn't win that fight, even though she has a more advanced degree than I do. I still see patients. Work at a hospital. What are you talking about, lady? You're not better than me. Be clear, okay? But anyways, if I was Sweet Tea, I would have basically said, "Thank you, Dr. Jackie, for your resume. Since you are so cerebral and you've gone to college and you have this MD, you should know. I didn't ask you about your resume, ma'am. Be clear. I asked you about how rude you were to me. I talked to your husband and said, I feel that it's fair that she should be in the hot seat because you came to my house, you disrespected me and my husband in my house. You're disrespectful, period, point blank. So good for you that you have an MD. Good for you. Sorry that, you catching babies every day and you don't have one. That is harsh. I know that that's harsh. That's me back in Nikki mode, in Chanel mode. I get it that that's harsh. But what Dr. Jackie was doing was harsh. Basically, she's trying to tell Sweet Tea, you're nothing to me. So guess what? I'm gonna hit you right back. You slapped me. I'm gonna whack you. Okay? Where's my baseball bat? Because clearly I must have tried me on my forehead. And listen, I get it, Sweet Tea. This is a job. You gotta come prepared. Sis wasn't prepared. In my opinion, Sweet Tea is like a she's in a Shark Tank and she's just like a baby dolphin to me. She got spikes though, because she will cut your ass. Like, I like Sweet Tea. I do think she's not good for this show, not because she's not a good participant, but I just think that the way they're treating her is unfair. It's bully behavior. And be clear, just because you're not calling her out her name and being very kind of indirect, that doesn't mean you're not being a bully. And just because she yells back or cusses you out or something, that still doesn't mean that you're not bullying her. You are. You're being a bully. You are. And Sweet Tea, because she's outnumbered and she's out degreed with all these intelligent doctors, she's not gonna win. It's not a fair fight. Which is why I'm like, Dr. Jackie, you really had nothing for Sweet Tea. You couldn't answer her question. You couldn't say why. You couldn't say what Sweet Tea said. Why should I have empathy for you when you did this to me? You swung a bat at me first, and you thought it was funny in my house, in my face, right? That's what you did, doctor. Aren't you supposed to have ethics? Be clear. You're supposed to have ethics, right? And I'm not saying you have to have ethics outside of, your work, but I'm saying if you're an ethical person, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to minimize this lady? I see you for exactly who you are. Sweet Tea is just learning. I see you for exactly who you are, which is why you can be friends with Dr. Heavenly. Shout out to Dr. Heavenly. I only like her because she's agreed to be the villain and she stands in it. But I think she's savage. That's an appropriate word for Dr. Heavenly. I'm just saying. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm not telling the truth about people. So, I don't think Sweet Tea's dumb, but I think she's smart, but I don't think she is good for this show. And not because like I said, not because she's not a good participant or that she doesn't quote unquote fit in. These women don't value her. That's number one. I'm not sitting at nobody's table that don't value me. I will create my own fucking table. Be clear. She gonna create her own table. I am an original. My God made me an original. Why would I ever walk around as a copy? Catch it. So I get, everybody wants to matter. Nobody wants to feel left out or feel like they don't belong. So I get why she's here to play ball. One is for a check. Two is for some sort of, I guess, celebrity. That comes with even more checks. And I get it. I understand why she made the decision. But personally, especially since she's married to Dr. G, who is, I think, a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm not sure which one. He should know that he put her in a Shark Tank. He knows. He knows. And so I feel bad for her in that way, because do I think she could stand her ground? Do I think she could scrap with these ladies? Yes. Do I think she's going to do it in a way that she comes out looking better than them? No. Because she's just going to come out with the words that she uses, seeming young and ghetto. And I don't even think she's really ghetto like that. I think she doesn't have the right weapons. if I'm being honest. And what I mean by that is that's what I mean by the intellectual part of it. Because that's how they're gonna fight. Except for Dr. Simone. She's gonna scream at you. Dr. Simone's gonna scream at you. You're gonna have a screaming match. Dr. Heavenly is gonna scream at you, but she also gonna go good or low. She is. That's what Dr. Heavenly's gonna do. Who else? Dr. Jackie is not gonna say much to you. She's just gonna, in her mind, and maybe to Heavenly, gonna just be like, these idiots. That's what Dr. Jackie's gonna give you. And then the men don't really care, in my opinion. So I just think it's not a fair fight. I would prefer her to be like on TLC or somewhere like that, where it's more wholesome and something like that, where it's a good thing to not always be sitting on ready, you know? So anyway, that's my part that I left out of last episode. So I'm going to try to do this really, really quickly. So the episode picks up, ooh, I wrote a lot, Jesus Christ. With the ladies golfing. I didn't really think this was very entertaining at all, so I don't really have much to say. It's not exciting. I did agree with Dr. Alicia. She said, really, I just want to, they just really want to come there to wear a cute outfit. And I agree. That's the reason I want to go to Aspen. I would love to, what is it, ski or snowboard or whatever it is. I don't know what the young people would say it is. I think they would say skiing is the old people. So maybe snowboarding, I don't know. But I just want to go there because I want a pink outfit, like a whole pink get up, and I want a photo. That's really. Listen, I am who I am. Like I said, I'm an original. So I'm just gonna keep it 100. I don't really. I would love to know how to ski, but I haven't seen too many episodes of I shouldn't be alive to be out there skiing brown. Just saying. I'm gonna leave certain things to certain people. That's just not for us, I think. So like I said, that wasn't very interesting to me. They couldn't really hit. Listen, I golf at the Top Golf here in Texas. I don't know if y'all have that wherever you live or wherever you're seeing this video, but it's a really fun place. It's affordable. It's to me kind of chic because you're not out there walking around for whatever, for however long. You're not doing any of that. You have someone to bring you drinks, refreshments. You have someone to bring you good food, and you have a good time and with friends. So I prefer that, but I do like a good outfit. So the men are, while the women play golf, which I thought was really cute. The women went golfing. I'm certain the men thought that they were going to do that and the women were going to cooking. No. And I love that. I love that. Shout out to Dr. Simone if she's the one that came up with that. But I feel like the producers did it. So the men they were away cooking at a cooking competition. And listen, I already knew that who was going to win. Dr. Eugene. He's the only one that ever really cooks on that show. And everybody says his food is good, and I would say, oh, maybe they lying, but nobody. These people are shady enough to be like, he really think he know what he doing, but he don't. But they never say that, so I'm gonna assume he does a great job, and he won, like I thought. I feel bad for Toya because Toya doesn't realize that she has a great man. I think on some level she knows, but I don't. She's the type of person that won't really understand it, really know, until Eugene gets tired enough. He feels disrespected enough. He feels unappreciated enough, whatever the enough is, and leaves. That's when Toya would really get it. But I don't think that's ever going to happen also because I think Dr. Eugene loves his family, loves Toya, and probably more than anything wants his black family to be great, and he wants to be a good example for his kids. So that's the reason I don't think Dr. Eugene will ever leave her, unless maybe after the kids are gone. Maybe. But, I mean, she does something right. But she does say she uses a shower head a lot, so I don't know. And then Toya, girl, come to the front. Y'all remember that season she went on and she was like, what did Toya say? She thought, they asked the question and Toya was like, and they were like, what is the one thing in marriage you just didn't expect? And Toya said something like, what did she say? I didn't expect for my husband, I think she said my husband's penis not to grow or something like that. And I'm like, see, she acting like Portia Williams in the railroad. Talk about his 264 days in a year. I can't make this shit up. This stuff up. Listen, I can't. That's what Portia said. She thought that that there was actually a railroad underneath. I can't. So I don't have time to get into that with her today. So I can't. But that's what Toya gives. She gives Portia. Just saying. But Portia's beautiful though. I will at least give Portia that. She got body, yaddy, yaddy. And honestly, I think think Toya must be a good friend in real life because she does seem to have friends, but on the show she just comes across as just not fun to me. Just saying. So and plus I would have never said that about my husband. Toya comes to the friend girl. Men, and I'm not that girl that's like, oh, you need to massage a man's ego. I'm not that girl. Massage your own fucking ego. Listen, I believe in this. I believe you, if you find your one, right? I found my one, but if you find your one or when you find your one, just be whoever you are. Don't. It's a red flag if people want to change you because that means they want somebody else. I'm just being honest. Just saying. Um, but be who you are. Be true to yourself. But marriage is about joining of minds. And if you're not willing to do that, you're probably gonna have a problematic marriage. But also, it's about understanding how to work through challenges when people are growing. Because sometimes you grow together, sometimes you grow apart. You know, what you wanted at 20 changed by the time you were 40, and it's gonna change again. So, and your knowledge and experience obviously is going to grow. So you're becoming a different person, but you just want to make sure you're with a person that wants to hold hands and walk in the same direction and have fun with you. You got to be into something that your husband's into. You got to be into something your wife is into. I'm into football. That was like our first little, when the Texans came out, that's how old I am, 20 something years ago. Anyway, and I'm ride or die for mine. And I remember we watched the first Texans game, and all the Dallas people were like, this new franchise team is gonna, get pummeled and stomped by the Dallas Cowboys. And listen, just like the Houstonians, we are. They won that game, and the rest is history. Yes, we won. We beat a franchise team. Catch it. All my Dallas haters, get in the chat and you can say whatever. I don't care. It ain't changing over here. Be clear. No, I'm joking. So I just Toya doesn't understand when to stop. That's my opinion. That's why they were in. What did she say? They had like $180,000 worth of debt or something like that. Taxes, unpaid taxes, or allegedly. I don't know. Everything said on this show is alleged, and it's for my entertainment. I hope she catches it one day because I think it's a beautiful thing that they're black couple and are able to live in a nice home and all that. I like that, and buy fancy things. That I do have in common with Toya. I do want everything. Just saying, I'm top tier over here. Just be clear. That's all I'm saying. Okay. What else? What is this? What did I write? Contact cost of the person. I don't know what this is about. Let's see. Oh, I was talking about Toya, and I was talking about who I think she is, but we don't even need to get into that. I do think that Toya and Dr. Heavenly are the same people, right? The difference is, I think that Dr. Heavenly has zero problem with calling everybody out on things that are going to make them uncomfortable, make them look bad, make their decisions look terrible, make them look stupid. She's an expert at that. She really sincerely is, and she's quick with it. And she has no way to hold water. If y'all ever watch her and Carlos King, he be getting all the tea out of Heavenly. Because she wants to talk about it. That's number one. Which is why you never tell someone like Heavenly your business. No matter what it is. You never tell her. Never. Because she's going to repeat it. Please understand. And I'm not talking about just repeating it to her husband. She's going to repeat it. This is going to happen. It is a fact. Because she can't even hold it on anyway. So the difference is Dr. Heavenly is going to attack you, and she will call you out on everything, right? And she's going to only protect Daddy, her husband, and her family. That's it. Not even her whole family, I don't think. Her daughter, her kids, they're like her immediate family and her husband. She ain't telling you nothing about them. Period. All we know after 10 years about Daddy is she likes to put it in her mouth, and that's where he likes it. He's an emergency room doctor, and I think he switched over and started something else. And that they're entrepreneurs. That's it. That's what we know about him. That she's gonna cater to her man. That's it. Toya, on the other hand, she's really not going to. She's not a punk. I'll give her that. But she really not the girl that, okay, I'm gonna tell you, you tell me your secrets and I'm gonna tell the whole world, in my opinion. Unless she really probably gets pushed really, really, really hard into a corner. But I don't think she's gonna wanna, I don't think it's part of her personality to do that. And the crazy part is she won't do that to others as much. But her husband, he can get it. She tells all they little tea. Why are you running around America telling people or inferring that your husband has a small piece, sis? And you know what? Maybe Toya knows more than all of us. Maybe she running around telling everybody that because he really got a big one. I don't know. If you are Toya, good on you. If that's truly what's happening, but I don't think Toya's. I don't think that Toya would know to say that because it's so embarrassing. Oh my God, Toya, you saying that you thought that your husband's penis would get bigger or would grow more or something is the equivalent of your husband saying you're 5.5. And I don't care how good you think you look, Toya. I'm not saying you're an ugly girl. I'm not saying that. But if your husband says to the world he thinks you're a 5, you would have no understanding, sis. Or that's like him saying, I thought my wife's vagina would get cleaner or smell better. Girl. You see what I'm saying, Toya? You see why that's wrong? Because I really do feel like they probably went home and Toya still didn't get it. Because she's Toya. Lord bless her. But that's the difference to me between Heavenly and Toya. They both could be ratchet. They both could go good or low. They just do it two different ways. Toya does it to her man, and Heavenly, anybody can get it. It's just a free for all. Anybody can get it except Dr. Jackie. But you could see if you watch Dr. Heavenly after what happened with Dr. Jackie saying that she basically think that black women go and pretend and what did she say? Exaggerate our pain just to get out of work. It's so asinine. Yes, Dr. Jackie, you're asinine for saying that. 100%. And you deserve everything that people said about you regarding that. Because it's terrible. And then you didn't even want to apologize. Girl, that's the problem that I have. You still, be clear, Dr. Jackie still doesn't think she's wrong at all about that. Because that's her truth in her mind. Her truth is these people just are doing this because. And why is that her truth? It's no different than the Dorit from Beverly Hills thinking she's not racist. And I'm not saying Dorit is racist. But Dorit thinks she's not racist because the people she's around are not brown. So who was I racist to? There are no brown people around. So for her, she isn't. She doesn't understand why Garcelle is mad because she said, Garcelle attacked me. Garcelle never attacked you, girl. The white lady did, Sutton. Sutton was yelling at you. You never said, Sutton, why are you attacking me? You never said that to her. She yelled at you for a good 5 minutes. All Garcelle said was, I think you're being mean. I think you're trying to embarrass her. I don't think Dorit's racist. Just like I don't think Dr. Jackie hates women or black women or, feels a way. I don't think that. I think her patients that she sees are brown. So that's what she's familiar with. So as far as Dr. Jackie's concerned, this is my experience with this group of people. That's what she should have said, though. She didn't. She made it seem as though all black women are this way. This is what I experience in medicine as a whole, instead of saying my patients that I have dealt with are, exaggerating their pain or whatever it is. Lazy, don't want to go to work. If Dr. Jackie would have said those are my patients and that's what's going on in my practice, accuracy. You ain't mad at that. The whole black community ain't mad at you then. But that ain't what she said. I know that's what she meant, though. Well, maybe she didn't. She probably meant I was trying to save you, Dr. Jackie. But to be completely honest, that's the reason that Dr. Jackie doesn't think she's wrong. Because that's her experience. And that's what she should have said. In my experience with my patients that are brown. She doesn't want to do that. Because now you pissed off all your patients. And guess what? Your practice is going to be practiceless. So let's just piss off all of Black America, especially black women. Because it's interesting. We're the most educated people in this country. And yet I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Okay. What else? Let's see. Oh, okay. So then I told you guys. Oh, I think I've already said that. Yeah, Dr. Eugene, he won the cooking contest. There was a little bit of banter. The guys were talking about the cooking because they have this Dr. Alicia and her husband. I don't know her husband's name though, but he's also a oral surgeon or doctor as well. Um, and listen, this is again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but my theory is that Dr. Um, Alicia is American. I'm like 99% sure she's American. Her husband, I think, is from Jamaica or he's from somewhere else. And I think that because he comes across as very like archaic in his thought processes and how he like the gender roles, right? And I feel this way in general in life. Whatever works for you in your relationship, that's what you should do. I don't think you should conform to whatever society says. Whatever makes you, your husband, you and your spouse, whatever, happy, do that. As long as you're not hurting other people, do that, right? I think Dr. Alicia and her husband made a plan. This is my opinion. That okay, listen, what are we gonna bring to the show? Because you gotta bring something, right? It's gonna be hard to break down and get into people's living room in a meaningful way without being completely drama filled, right? So I feel like they said, what's the easiest way to do that and get people talking about us with the least amount of hurt on us and without with something we could stand on that people can't really say. They can say that they don't agree with it, but they can't say it's wrong, right? They could say all day, I don't agree with your culture and your traditions or whatever, but they can't say it's wrong just because it's different from theirs, right? So there's a way for them to do it without feeling or seeming or coming out to the audience as thirsty, right? Or, a fan, as people say. Don't get me down that road either. So I feel like they felt like, okay, this is part of our actual, life where my husband is a little bit wacky in terms of, what he expects, of his wife and this, that, and the third, right? So I think that he plays it up. Her husband, he plays it up like, oh, women need to do this and she better have my food. And I tell her every day when I come home, where's my food? Where's my food? And then eventually as soon as I come in the house, she's like, I'm cooking your food, whatever the case may be. I don't really care because I don't live with a man like that. So if that would never work for me. But listen, holla if you hear me. Do you. Do you, sis. If you and your husband are doing it and y'all doing it well, I ain't mad at that. So, when they're they go on a yacht, and when they're on this yacht, I feel like it's kind of luxuriating somewhat. It wasn't a very luxurious yacht, but they felt like it was. I don't know. So they're having dinner. The ladies are. They're having dinner. The men are having dinner, but they're having it I guess on another side of the boat. It's just weird. And they're both kind of having the same conversations. So the women are talking about it's really Toya, or at least that's what they show. Toya basically trying to give Dr. Alicia. She's trying to shade her, in my opinion. And listen, Dr. Alicia is not having any of Toya's antics. Toya is asking her stuff like, oh, basically about oral sex. And Dr. Alicia is basically like, we don't do that. That's because the husband said I feel like on the bus or whatever their transportation to go to cook to the chef class or whatever the cooking competition, they talked about that. And Dr. Alicia's husband was like, I don't go downtown, or maybe it was everybody was on the bus. He was just kind of like, in our culture, we don't really do that, and of course, for a real woman and a real man, I'm like, sir, that's just mandatory. Get into it. If you ain't into it, you better get into it. Okay, get into it. I'm just saying. But again, I say do what's good for you in your marriage. So if he feel like because in their confessional too, he was like, she doesn't really like it or whatever, and she was like, yeah, you could do it more. So again, at the table, so Toya's picking. Toya is basically like, well, I forget exactly what Toya said. Toya said something to her like, does he allow you to something? And then And Dr. Alicia was just kind of like, no, we don't really. He doesn't want me to give him a BJ. That's what Dr. Alicia said. But she also shaded Toya because Toya says some little shady shit, and so she's shaded Toya because she was just like she looked at Dr. Heavenly and she was like, I'm happy with my husband's. She basically was shooting shots at Toya because Toya said, like I said on the reunion a few reunions ago, or maybe last year, I can't remember exactly. But basically, she said her husband's penis is not that great, meaning not that large or whatever. Because she was saying, oh, well, I thought it was going to be large or grow or something. So Dr. Alicia, she knows what's up. So she's just like, okay, I'm going to shade you real quick, real slide and slippery. That's the kind of shade that Sweet Tea needs. The kind where you're gonna whack someone upside the head, but you ain't even really moved much. That's what happened to Toya. So she tried her again because clearly, Toya sees try me all over Dr. Alicia. Because Toya says, well, I mean, because she basically Dr. Alicia is just kind of like, girl, my man, he's good, okay? It's good over here, okay? And so then Toya was basically like, well, I mean, I guess it has to be because you don't have to, because I think she asked her. Oh, because Toya said, does he allow you to have toys? And then Dr. Alicia had to check her again. And she's like, I don't understand why you use the word allow. He can't allow me to, whatever. But we're good. Whatever we're doing over here, we're good. We're satisfied. He's satisfied, I'm satisfied, or whatever the case may be. And then Toya's like, so you don't give him BJs or something like that. And I think even Dr. Heavenly, they kind of all were like, how does that work? Like, you sure? Like, because she was like, he's fine. He doesn't need that. He doesn't even want it. And then Dr. Heavenly was like, oh, he wants it. I don't know a man that would say no. Straight, gay, whatever. I don't know one that would be like, no, I want no BJ. Like, I think, just like how I said, it's mandatory. I feel like men think that too. And also, I feel like men that don't have to have sex with you. If you could just give them a BJ, they still getting where they going, and they ain't even have to. I'm just saying. I think that's sometimes how men kind of look at it as not being really attached to some sort of nefarious activity outside of your woman's presence. Just saying. So then Dr. Alicia, she waxed Toya again. She was like, listen, my man, she was like, well, my husband, he thinks that I'm such a queen that he wouldn't want me to get on my knees. She said a little more than that, but that's what she said. I was like, listen, Toya, come to the front. Leave her alone because sis is not playing with you. She is so unbothered, but whacking you out so many times. Like, girl, she got you all the way in check, and she ain't even missed a beat, and I'm here for it. I'm like, yes. And I don't even hate Toya. I don't even think Toya is a mean-spirited person, but I think Toya was trying her, and Alicia wasn't having it, and I'm here for it. Dr. Alicia, you can come on Chanel's Reality Girl. Tell us all about it. Oh my goodness. And then Phaedra says something about the play. About like some sort of toy. Oh my God. I literally died a few times. So I'm gonna let you guys, hopefully y'all can hear it. I just died. Cause listen, the way Phaedra was talking about it, I was like, I need to go find this rose toy that she's talking about. So listen, let me see if I can turn it up. I'll play it for y'all real quick. Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear it. Let's see. Okay. What's happening? Play. It's loading or something. Oh, okay, it's loading. What is happening with my computer? Why is it doing that? That's weird. Okay, let's see. That is so bizarre. Let me see. Let me reload the page and see. Let's see. The same every time. Where's my food? Where's my food? See, he a whole mess. So let's see if I can get to the part where. Let's see.
No, they look like that type of couple. Oh, that's terrible.
Okay.
Just get a rose. It's better than any man.
Ooh.
Well, I'm sure she has one, but don't worry. No choice. Okay, well, that rose toy is so good, it's dangerous. That's probably torn up a few homes. Child, leave the flowers in the garden.
I died. I lived. When she said, I was just done. I laughed. I watched it a few times. Because I was like, now I need to find this rose that she talking about. Listen, I'm just saying. I need this rose she's talking about. And I had a few passion parties or two in my time. Okay, let's get back to this so we can get done. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Okay? Okay. So again, like I said, they're talking about their relationships and they're talking about sex and all of that kind of stuff. And Phaedra's the only one that doesn't have a man on this trip, and she feels like she says at some point like she's happy to, because she's like, I don't need nobody trying to asking me to make breakfast and rub their feet and all this stuff. She's just, I think on some level I get what she's saying, because you don't have anybody that you need to consider outside of your kids. When you're married, you always got to consider your partner. So I get that. And I think there is a freedom in not being married for about a year. Because at some point, whatever you had with whomever, there usually, if you had somewhat of a good marriage, but maybe you just grew apart, there's usually something you kind of like, you become accustomed to, right? So having a person at home at night, having someone to hold you at night, having a person to support you if you decide I want to go back to school, or I want to change my career, I don't want to work right now, whatever it is, someone to be there to talk to you when you want to cuss out your boss and you can't, or whatever it is. Those things become normal and you become accustomed to them. And like I said, it is great for a year or two or whatever, when you don't have to consider anyone anymore for a while. But then you have to worry about, like, do I trust this person? I'm gonna need what's the instructor say? I'm gonna need a health report before you put your penis anywhere near me. And I support that. Okay? Be very clear. Again, and then you gotta learn somebody and want to trust them, and it's just the whole big thing. So if you can stay together, I say stay together if you love each other enough to do so. But if not, move on. Don't waste your juicy years with an idiot, is all I'm gonna say. Just So, like I said, the guys are over there and they're they're having a very similar conversation. And basically, the husbands are looking at Dr. Alicia's husband like, sir, we don't know. We don't know where you got Alicia from, because that ain't how our wives rock. They don't rock like that. And I mean, I get it. In America, we have a very elitist, we're taught a very elitist mentality. And I know people will be like, oh no, we are. We're taught, you don't think so because you're indoctrinated with it, right? So we're taught that we have this I do agree with, the best military. I do agree with that. But we're taught we're the smartest, we're the most civilized, we're the whatever, right? It's not necessarily true. We do understand how to make money. And that's why I say, like, our military and our government, decent. We have checks and balances, and there's still a whole bunch of stuff going on, shenanigans. But if you travel outside the U.S., you'll find out that I'm not wrong about what I'm saying. Just because it looks better doesn't mean it's better. Because there's a lot of countries that are ahead of us in math, education, like all kinds of stuff. But we still are promoting that we the smartest, and we just not. Go look at the statistics if you think I'm wrong. But this is Chanel's reality, so she's not wrong. But like I said, so the men are having conversations, and Alicia's husband is still doing that whole, archaic mindset. And I ain't mad at them. Like I said, if she's happy with him like that, listen, go for it. And Dr. Alicia basically says it in her confessional. She's like, these women really, they want to find something wrong in our marriage, and they wish they had a marriage like me. And listen, I love the confidence because I'm a very confident person. Okay? Be very clear. I'm just going to say this to you, Dr. Alicia. Just certain comments don't necessarily age well. I believe you when you say, y'all have, whatever going on. It works for you guys. You're a great mother. You're a great doctor, whatever. I believe all of that. I believe you when you say, when Toya's trying to get at you and Toya's like, Explain to me why you say he trained you up and you're like hitting Toya back like Eugene need to train you. I get it. But certain things like they want my marriage or they're jealous of what I have, it just doesn't age well. And I'm not saying it doesn't age well because what you're saying isn't honest and truthful in your marriage. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be absolutely true what you're saying. But talk to Dr. Jackie about, and Dr. Jackie, I don't think even ever said anything like that. And Curtis went across, to Hilton Head with some girl. Broke her heart. I'm pretty sure she's probably still heartbroken, even though she's walking around America talking about we worked through it and we were good. It just doesn't always age well. So your husband could be a good man. He could be very loyal to you and your family right now. What I'm saying is, and here's the thing, I'm not in any way alleviating the husband from whatever act if he decides to do that. What I am saying is, we live in an age of social media. Before social media, people could cheat, but they really need a good opportunity and the lady up the street or the lady at the job or something like that, right? Now, what Beyonce said in that song? These thoughts can't clock me nowadays. You wish I was your pound cake. Boy, you know I look good. So I'm just saying, there are a lot of women that, sorry, sweetie, but I'm going to use her as an example, that watch these shows and instantly send ass shots and whatever else. And you can have the best man. Honestly, you can. And the best marriage. But there's going to be one of those shots that somebody sends. It got Sweet Tea a whole ring and moved to a different city. I'm just saying. It seems to have worked out for Sweet Tea and Dr. G. They seem to be in love, at least on film. But I don't know if that's really true. So I'm just saying, be careful what you say on camera. And you're a doctor, so I'm sure you don't need me to tell you. And please don't come for me, sis, okay? Because I'm not coming for you. I'm just saying that just be careful. Because sometimes it doesn't. It's like the moment you get on TV and say how great your marriage is or how happy you are with your job or whatever it is, then some shit comes out from 13 years ago that you never knew about. I ain't saying that that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't. But I'm just saying be careful with those type of things because I think, who was that? Sandra Bullock went to the Oscars and got an Oscar, I think, and was giving all of this great homage to her husband and how great he was. And I was like, first of all, why is she even married to him? He's some tattoo guy. He looked the opposite of what you would think Sandra Bullock would marry. Literally, like the next day or week or something like that. It's like a whole slew of how he been cheating on this lady for however many years or whatever. It's just heartbreaking. It's like, I don't even know Sandra Bullock, and I'm not one of those people who's a fan of someone and thinks I know them, and I'm not that girl. But I feel bad for her because you didn't went and told the whole world how great this man is. Meanwhile, he been just effing over you. Ugh. It's terrible. But some men are shady like that, and some men are savages. And I'm telling you one thing: this social media world, they will put it all in your face. And they will do. People wake up to get on social media to talk about other people. That's just like, I'm not that girl, but people do. So I'm just saying what I see. I don't know anything about your life. And get off of marriage to medicine if you want your marriage to last. I'm just saying, don't go more than 5 years because it seems like then it goes to hell in a handbasket. Okay, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I forgot to talk about this. So when they were on that boat, the yacht that they were on, Toya was talking to Sweet Tea, and Sweet Tea is like, oh, I don't know. I apologize to Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Jackie really didn't accept her apology. And Toya was like, why did you apologize to her anyway? Because Toya's thinking the same thing the rest of America is thinking that's watching this show. Like, you didn't owe her an apology. She owed you one. She mind tricked you in a way on some level to thinking that you owe her an apology when you were saying you disrespected me. Why should I care about whatever's happening to you? That's what Sweet Tea was saying. I don't necessarily agree with Sweet Tea's argument, but it's valid. Don't come for me when your husband over here having a ho-ho in another city. Just saying. Shout out to that hoe. I'm not saying you're a ho-ho, but I'm just saying. This man was married. But he's really a hoe, let's be clear. He had an allegiance and a commitment to Dr. Jackie, not the girl. So I don't know. Anyways, that's what happened there. And so it's just kind of like, I don't personally know. Well, no, I was going to say I don't personally know why Sweet Tea had a problem with Dr. Jackie. But I only say that is because they all seem to have been making fun of her situation, if I remember correctly. Maybe except Toya, maybe. But it just seemed like I didn't get that. I'm like, why are y'all here? Y'all seem to beg this lady to come on this show. Or at least that's what it seemed like. We're so happy to have her. And it's like, why do that to her then? Why pretend that you like her and whatever else and then film with her and try to intentionally embarrass her? It's just, like I said, season one, scene one. I knew these, Dr. Jackie especially, I was just like, she's not to be trusted. So then Sweet Tea goes over, takes this opportunity to talk to Dr. Jackie, and it just further makes me it further cements why I don't like Dr. Jackie because of her responses. She continued to say, if I hurt you, or that may have been, or it probably was wrong. Listen, Dr. Jackie and Sweet Tea, if you listen, sis, saying something probably wasn't right is saying it wasn't right. But she's using the word probably because she's kind of like, she's trying to say, you deserved it. Whatever I said wasn't, it was not nice to say, but I'm okay with saying it. Anytime you can justify trying to tear someone down, and that's exactly what Dr. Jackie has been doing to this young lady, and the same thing with Dr. Heavenly. They've been doing that, and this is the thing that bothers me the most, which makes me wonder about their own insecurities, because I never saw either of them really as insecure people per se. Um, that being, and mostly because I guess they're doctors, but I feel like that's what they lead with. This is, I'm so prestigious or whatever type of thing. So to me, I'm just kind of like, if you're all that, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie, you're so world renowned, y'all the best at whatever because y'all have millions of dollars. Let's be very clear. Millions of dollars in the bank never bought 1 ounce of peace or love. Be very clear. So you could have all the money in the world and still be alone. Or have all the money in the world and have people in your house and still be alone and lonely and unhappy. So I'm happy that you're smart enough to go do some stuff I don't want to do. I don't want to do anyone's taxes. I don't want to know algebra. I'm smart, but that ain't my thing. People is my thing. So I'm going to sit over here in my lane. But I can't understand. It says something to me about your character that you would encourage this lady on some level to come on the show. Because Dr. Heavenly, you did say you kind of like brought her on the show for this, to make sure Quiet could get a bag and Sweet Tea can get a bag and Dr. G. Like, so this is what you said, Dr. Heavenly. Right? You can have this lady on the show and it's going to be good for everybody. And I ain't mad at that. Go get a whole bag. Okay? But it's the bullying behavior. It's the constant, I'm going to get on TV. I mean, not on TV, but online and talk about her uterus and how she ain't going to have a baby and my mama have a better chance of having a baby or my grandma will have a baby. That type of stuff is so low. It's so gutter. So, okay, you went to school, you have an MD, but you're so gooder. I'm just saying, it's just, listen, I'm a clinician. So I understand about confidentiality. That's why I don't even understand. But Dr. Jackie, years ago with Buffy, let me realize she doesn't have, what's the Hippocratic Oath, sis? Where are your ethics? I don't even have an MD, and I know that confidentiality is the first thing they teach you in any type of medical practice. Right? You online telling the whole world this lady's medical problems. I don't care that you aren't her doctor. You're a doctor. Be clear. I didn't have to go to medical school to know that. I'm just saying. I work with people every day. I help people every day. It's just with their emotional state versus their physical one. But both are equally important. Be very clear. You could be a genius. You could be a doctor, be a genius, healing the world. But it doesn't matter who you're healing if they're in their mind they're not right. You need both. And to me, something's missing when you guys are all grown women. If you're not already 60, you're knocking at the door. And this is your behavior as a professional to try and degrade this young lady. And listen, I understand it's a TV show and people will say, oh, it's entertainment or whatever. I'm just not going to sell my soul for a paycheck. I'm not. Not going to do it. Like, even me starting this YouTube channel, I have a whole job. My husband has a whole job, whatever. We're successful. I just want to do this because I want to do something fun that I like doing, right? It's not for a paycheck. But there's nothing wrong with, monetizing it. But I'm not going to sit on here and jeopardize my integrity or push it to the side, push aside my ethics, and say defamatory things about people because they're celebrities and they're rich, so they can take it. No, they're humans. And I understand that. And it's just mind-boggling to me that you guys understand that the human body needs to be healthy. But what you're doing to this young lady is her emotional state. People do SI. Figure out what that means. Or HI, which means you might be thinking about ending yourself or others. So you got to be healthy here too. So you tearing this lady down, you don't know what sweet tea. Listen, when people, my mom would always say, you don't know what people went through the night before they showed up at work. So listen, come to work happy. Hey, Cindy, you need some coffee, girl? Listen, I don't know what Cindy is dealing with at home. So I'm not about to be over here trying to, she could be on her last, because we all have been in that situation where you walk into work and you, listen, you would not be here if you didn't need to be here, right? You walk into work and you're this close from the ugly cry. Because all that one person, your work bestie comes in and they see something right and they're like, what's wrong? And the moment they ask you, you okay? You go into the ugly cry. And what I'm saying is lots of people are living on the edge. Now, I know, like you said, like I said, it's a TV show and it's for entertainment, but it still has an impact. You could think it doesn't, but there's something called post-traumatic stress, right? I'm Sweet Tea, I can deal with it right now. Because, I'm young and I'm invincible. I can deal with it right now. Plus, I got my new husband. He supports me. But maybe 5 years down the line, I don't have my husband. Maybe he found another, more Sweet Tea. I don't know. And she had babies with him. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you don't know where people are. So just think about that is all I'm saying. I'm not here to have badger them down, but I'm just saying, people, sometimes you got to think about what you say and what you're doing. And my thing is, if you're in a fight with this lady because she just wants to pick at you and fight you, okay, fine. I'm never going to tell you to lay down and let somebody walk all over you or somebody continue to pick at you. But y'all keep starting a fight with her. She's bringing up things that are valid that say, listen, y'all treated me this way. It wasn't right. And I dealt with it, but we can't say nothing to y'all. Out of here. That's what Sweet Tea is essentially saying to Dr. Jackie. And I agree. I wouldn't do it personally because I handle things differently. Because I would have handled Dr. Jackie season 1, scene 1. She wouldn't have kept coming for me. I can promise you that. I don't play like that. I'm a Leo. We don't play those type of games. What they say, F around and find out? I'm just saying. And so like I said, she says to Sweet Tea, I'm gonna go ahead and forgive you for what? Yes. Do I think Sweet Tea should have cussed her out? No, I don't. But I think it woke everybody up on the boat. Were they on the boat? No, they was in that area at the hotel or whatever. It made everybody sit up, including me. I was like, whoa. And it's just because Dr. Jackie usually gets we have reverence for Dr. Jackie. She's Saint Jackie. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have reverence for her. I'm saying she's slithery. Maybe she's not intentionally slithery, but she is. Like when she was doing the Sweet Tea, this whole little vacation, it was slithery to me. I couldn't see. I'm bred different. Listen, I don't have time. I don't play with people. I'm gonna let you know, A1 day one. We're not playing those games. It's interesting because I'm more like Candy Burris in terms of, well, let's get it together right here, right now. I ain't playing that game. That's why Kenya Moore doesn't try Candy. She tried her that one day. Candy was like 3 hours late. Her and Phaedra was 3 hours late to that trip Nene was taking them on or whatever. Or Candy also read that other lady. Child, that's a epic episode. But yeah, she tried. Kenya was trying her, and Candy got up and was like, "Don't attack him about what you talking about. So sit your ass." Yes. us, okay? Now, I probably wouldn't have done exactly what Kenny did, but I would have got Kenya together too. Because I don't play those type of games. And Kenya could never get under my skin with this, like, I'm a beauty model. But girl, no one cares. Yeah, you're pretty. Okay. Next. Girl, it's so late. And also too, with the fact that anybody can go get a BBL, they can go fix their face, fix their nose, fix whatever. It doesn't matter. It's skin deep, and the fact that you think that's valuable is crazy to me. That lets me know where your self esteem is, because any of us could get in a car wreck and damage your face and disfigure your body. Do you have anything else? Catch it. Where's your substance? What's beyond what you look like? There's a million thoughts out there that look better or equally whatever. Understand, if your man want to cheat, your wife want to cheat, they're gonna cheat. And understand, she doesn't have to look better than you. 9 times out of 10, she probably won't. Well, I don't know. Nowadays on social media, all I'm saying is, you think he won't cheat on you with that one, but he will. Just saying. Watch Potomac. Anyway, it's just mind games. That's all that I wrote in here about Dr. Jackie, because it is. It's mind games. But I will say this. Shout out to the men on Married to Medicine, because Dr. Simone's husband, he called it out. He was like, Sweet Tea was tired of it. And I ain't mad at him, because he like, she ain't trying to hear that no more. And I agree, 100%. What else? Listen, when when not Dr. Lord Jesus, when Faith was talking about that damn rose vibrator, I cannot. She talking about it's dangerous. I cannot. Okay, so let me see, what else did I say? Okay, we already talked about Toya continuously trying her. What else? Oh, I talked about that. Okay, let's see. So now we come to the end of the episode, and I don't know why people. Oh, I don't know why people put Dr. Simone in charge of anything. Like, all the seasons that I've watched this show, I've never. To me, although Toya has no restraint, Toya and I have this in common. We do like top tier. Even if we feel like we really can't afford it, you know what I'm saying? We put it on Klarna, or what's the other one you can get it on? Hold on. Affirm. Stop me when I'm wrong. No, but what I'm saying is, Toya and I, we do have this in common. We'll figure out a get to pay for it. Listen, people could be like, there ain't no way. Watch me work. I can figure out something. Yeah, real quick. But my point is, Toya and I, we're going to have a good vacation. It's going to be luxurious. Please believe me. And nothing about Dr. Simone says that at all. She doesn't really have a lot of style. I like you, Dr. Simone, but she doesn't have because I feel like she would be a better doctor than Dr. Jackie. Not necessarily better intellectually, because I think they're probably the same, but better in terms of relatability, But I wouldn't put her in charge of the fun, fancy vacation. But I didn't think she did bad. But here's my example, Dr. Simone, if you decide to ever watch this, is why is the end of the trip or whatever it is, y'all going on a slumber party thing, and it literally looks like a giant, like, I guess, conference room or big living area space that they set up for 8-year-olds. Tents. Cute for an 8-year-old. We're all adults. Didn't I say they all pushing 60, with the exception of maybe Sweet Tea and Toya? Like, I'm not understanding who came up with that, sis. And then you had to okay it. Why? But again, I don't think Dr. Simone cares about stuff like that. So therefore, she don't need to be in charge of that. And also too, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying what it is. Why are we putting Dr. Simone and Cecil in charge of this marital thing? So are we saying simply because of the time frame or the amount of time they've been married that they have any good advice? Is that what we're saying? And listen, and I'm not hating. I'm saying I don't understand it, because a few years ago, they were had to be convinced to not get divorced. And that alone isn't necessarily something to say, oh, well, they can't bring anything or offer anything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I would prefer to get some advice, marital advice, from some people that looked happy in their marriage. I think they exist. I do. I think they've been married for however long. I think like 20 something years or something like that. But I've been married 20. So, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So, it's not to say that the amount of time doesn't necessarily make you an expert. Is really what I'm getting at. And also, too, it's the quality, right? So, get people that are quality. I'm not saying they don't have something to offer. I'm not saying that. Because everybody that's been married, even if they're divorced, they have something to offer about how to navigate marriage, what didn't work, what did work. You know what I mean? What I don't understand is why they're in charge of trying to teach somebody, because they don't even look happy to me. They seem better, because Simone seems to laugh at almost everything he says in the confessionals. But again, that's to me part of playing the game. I don't necessarily think she thinks whatever he's saying is so hilarious. I don't. I'm not saying it isn't, but they just don't give in love to me. Maybe they'll be back in love in 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I do think marriage ebbs and flows, but I'm just like, who put them in charge? That's what I don't get. But honestly, nobody at this retreat could really be in charge. Think about it. Dr. Jackie doesn't, she's a workaholic, in my opinion. So she doesn't seemingly have enough time or effort or quality with her husband, Curtis. That's their beef, allegedly. But he's been saying that since season 1. Who else do we have? Dr. Simone and her husband. Again, like I said, they just seem like people who live together. People who live together and holding hands, walking in the same direction. But in terms of happiness, joy, I don't see that from them. It doesn't give in love. It gives, we understand, we're in this relationship. That's it. To me. Who else? Toya. Again, Toya just wants everybody to know that, that she got a lot of money. That's all Toya cares about, is showing up in Fendi and red bottoms, in my opinion. Now that she has this wine line, I'm happy for her. Shout out to you, Toya, for doing something. Outside of your husband, that's what I mean by that. And being a mom and all that. But even them, they don't seem happy. Eugene seems like he works like a workhorse, and Toya is complaining. And maybe is really good in bed because she's clearly horny all the time. But what I'm saying is, and then Dr. Heavenly wants to pretend that her marriage is perfect. It's not. No marriage is. And I'm not mad at her for wanting to do that. I'm not going to go out here and tell everybody everything that's wrong with my marriage. I just don't rock like that. Some people do. Some people go on Facebook or wherever and they tell you their whole marriage is effed up and he cheated on me and this, that, and the third. He ain't home yet. And then 2 days later, y'all back together. So what was this rant for, sis? So I'm just kind of like, nobody, in my opinion, is qualified. And then the other guy, Dr. G, him and Quad had a whole domestic situation, allegedly. So he's been divorced, cheated on her, allegedly, from what he said at the reunion. So who's qualified to really talk to y'all about? I didn't get it, but maybe it's just me. So Dr. Simone asked everybody to write down things that they want to, ask their spouse. Curtis talks about how he really wants his wife. He wants more quality time. Dr. Jackie basically says, well, when I'm at the hospital all day, all I'm doing is working. And I sometimes want to include social media or whatever's going on in the world in my life because all I'm doing is working, right? And I get that, but then I just don't understand, girl, why you don't want to go home to hang out with your man or hang out with your friend, something. I don't understand that. But she then says something that does make sense, because she says about sometimes it's paid for. So she has to advertise things on her social media and she gets a check for it. So I am mad at that, because Curtis, when did he have a job? Because do any of the men have a job that aren't doctors on the show? Because I ain't seen him or the other one, Dr. Simone. But anyway, The other husband, oh, I thought it was interesting because Dr. Alicia and her husband talk about the differences between them and how they see money. She basically says it's his strength, so she lets him basically do it. I would say that's the same in my relationship. My husband is the strength. He's the strength on that because I'm not. I'm weak. I go to Saks and I get weak. I get into the Louis Vuitton. I get weak. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm being honest. I know who I am, but I'm willing to work hard for it. So let's just be clear. Um, so they disclosed that she lost. I think he said like $100 and some thousand. She don't know where it went, or maybe more. So clearly, she's right. He's better with money, and she's not. And then she explains that, or exposes something about him investing lots of money into the stock and I think Bitcoin or something like that, and lost a lot of money. And I don't really think he wanted her to say that, but I don't think she wanted him to talk about how she spent $100 and some thousand and they don't know where it actually went. So I thought that was honest though. Dr. Simone and Dr. her husband, they basically say he don't get enough sex. Toya and Dr. Eugene. Toya's always gonna complain about something. God bless her. I want her to get her life together. But basically, Toya, they both say that, in the last, I want to say 3 to 6 months, their relationship has gotten better. And the sex life has gotten better because he lost a little weight or whatever the case may be, and now he can go a little. I can't. Um, but I also thought that was honest. And then again, in true Toya style, yeah, we're doing it more, but it's planned. I'm like, girl, this is what I'm saying. Toya, wake up, girl. And I know you probably like, Nikki, you don't know about me and my husband. And I'm not saying I do. I'm saying logically, if you write a list of this man's pros, you're winning, sis. You're winning. I don't understand why you want to focus on all of the things that don't even really matter. And I can't say, let me be clear, I can't say what doesn't matter for you because it matters for you. All I'm saying is it appears on your show that the target keeps moving. That's what it appears. First, he was working too much. Then you want this big mega house. And I feel like, listen, that man is working his hands to the bone trying to give you what you want, trying to make you happy. And a lot of men wouldn't even do that. But the fact that he loves you, he does it. And I'm just like, girl, stop when you're ahead. So, okay, fine. Now you got the $1 million house with your 2-story closet or something. And that was fabulous. And I was happy for you guys. Really genuinely happy for you and him. And then it's like COVID. You're mad at him again. And I get it. COVID changed a lot. But he's also at work with people trying not to die. Have a little compassion for the man. I'm not saying negate your feelings. But it just seems a little self-involved at every turn regarding you and what you want. And all I'm saying is you have your right to say, I want what I need in my life, and I need your time, I need your love, whatever it is. I'm not saying don't do that. You should definitely tell your partner what you need. You just never seem to be happy, is all I'm saying. And all I'm saying is just do a little inventory, sis. Write down what all of his good qualities are and then line up what the bad ones are. I could write down my husband's great qualities. He's loyal. He's a man's man. He's intelligent. Meaning, when I say man's man, he's gonna always make sure I'm good. He is. I can trust him regarding that. He's gonna always make sure bills are paid. If I'm sick, it's just he's a man like that. Is he perfect? No, because I have a whole basket in my room that says laundry. Somehow, men can't seem to put it in the damn basket. I don't understand. It says laundry. It also says, I have one that says colors, light, dark. It still don't matter. I'm not going to focus on that. Although it irks my nerves, I'm not going to focus on that. Why? This man still work. He's worked the entire time we've been in a whole relationship for 20-something years. I've been unemployed a few times. He has never been unemployed except for when we started our own business and we were doing that. And he was doing that full time. But that's not unemployed. That's self-employed. But my point is, I could focus on some stuff that I wish he didn't do. But why are we doing that exactly? And especially why are you doing it on TV? The whole world. Your kids are going to watch this. Just saying. They're watching what you do, how you treat their father. And then they'll accept it. From some girl that I promise you, Toya ain't ever going to like none of them girls that they bring home. But anyways, I'm not going to give Toya all this free therapy. I'm not giving it to her because I don't even think she cares. But I did want to say, Curtis, shut the hell up. That's just how I feel. You don't have nothing to say. She's a whole doctor, and although I don't like Dr. Jackie for a few reasons, she is going to work and she's doing something great. At the end of the day, she really is. So I need you to shut the hell up about, she doesn't spend enough time with this, that, and third. Take your ass up to Dr. Jackie's office. You know, bring her PF Chang's. Well, she probably don't eat that. Some sort of healthy something, fresh kitchen or something. Bring her that. I promise you. I feel like Dr. Jackie's the type of woman that would like turn her on. She'd probably be horny after you like bring her all these vegetables and stuff because she is always into health and stuff and fitness. Look at this free help, free marriage counseling. I need to clock you and dock you. Just saying. Do that, Curtis, instead of waiting on her to change, because Dr. Jackie is not about to. But you, on the other hand, sir, I ain't never seen you at a job. Somebody keeps saying that you are, what do they say you are? You're retired? Okay, well, whatever. Dr. Jackie isn't. So spend your time making that lady happy. What else do you have to do? Because you definitely spend time trying to make yourself happy with that lady. And what's the name of that place that they went to? Whatever that place is that they went to, something Point, Hilton Head, or whatever. You found time in your life to go do that. So if you can find time in your life to go get it somewhere else, you can find time in your life to send your wife roses every Monday. Let her know that she matters to you. You know? She's not going to change. And I'm not saying that you have to let her walk all over you and she doesn't need to be accountable. I 100% think she does. 100%. But you can too. And what the hell are you doing in the Dominican Republic, sir? I don't believe nothing good is happening over there. I know about the Dominican Republic. Let's be clear. I know about the Caribbean. I would love to go to islands in the Caribbean. It's great. Anyway, guys, that's my recap. I've been way over. I said I was going to do this in 30 minutes. Listen, it's 116 minutes. But get down in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about Curtis, about the guys, especially about the guy, Dr. Alicia's husband. Tell me what you think about Dr. Alicia and my theory about them. What do you think about Toya? Do you think she could be a little more grateful and maybe not ask for as much as she asks for from Eugene? Is she ever going to be happy? Toya, I really do wish you the best, sis, but I just want you to have some self-awareness. I just don't think you have it. I don't think you see yourself. And it's interesting because you're on TV show, so you get to watch it back and you still haven't changed. So I don't get that. What do you guys think about Dr. Heavenly and her antics with Sweet Tea? Do you guys think Sweet Tea was right for trying to apologize to Dr. Jackie, knowing that Dr. Jackie don't really give and doesn't accept her apology? What do you think about Dr. Jackie's fake apology? And then what do you think about Dr. Jackie really coming for this girl in her age and her, all of that in her confessionals? Because she certainly ain't saying it to her. Well, she did say a few things about her age to her face, but it's just so childish. It's like, that's really what you're talking about, Dr. Jackie? You're trying to bully her with her age? Like she has some sort of, that's like trying to bully me because I'm brown. What part did I play in me being brown? What part did Sweet Tea play in her being born 30 years later than you? Tell me what part did she play? She didn't. So it's like, how do you come better? You're a doctor, right? You're a doctor in MD. You're smarter than her, right? You know so much more. You're so, what did it call it? Worldly, and you have all this experience and knowledge. Then be intellectual when you talk to her. Lift her up. Why are you trying to tear her down? Dr. Heavenly too. Y'all seem like the evil lady from the Little Mermaid, the octopus lady. That's what y'all seem like, and I don't understand it. Truly, I don't get what y'all get out of that. It's ludicrous to me. Try to not be mean girls for a second. Jesus, uplift each other. Try that. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for holding in there with me. Hopefully you'll like my, Chanel's reality. I'll see you next time because my computer, my iPad that I'm filming this on is literally about to die. So, bye. Thanks for coming by.